One thing I think art can do, especially public art, is kind of highlight and amplify voices that maybe aren't getting the microphone as much. And I think when we show respect and reverence to our community, it inspires others to do the same. So this was part of the AIPP project along with the Friends of Gus Garcia. And so this rec center is named after the late Gus Garcia, who was our past mayor in Austin, and he passed away in 2018. He was a neighbor, he lived close by, he was instrumental in getting the rec center made. And the goal, as I was told, for the mural was that it be colorful, show reverence to Gus, and then be viewable from Rundberg and highlight the diversity in the community. We do a lot of community outreach. I mean, that's a huge part of the social contract because everyone here is living with it. So it's not me coming and putting my stamp on it and leaving. I feel like there's a bigger responsibility. And so I started just visiting the rec center, kind of auditing classes, sitting in on them. There were dance classes. I went to the garden. There's park days where volunteers come out and clean up. And I did a lot of sketches and photographs and put a mural concept together. I hand drew the entire mural, and it can look a little crazy in the early stages because I used a doodle grid. So I asked for a lot of trust from people in the beginning stages because it starts to look pretty wild. A lot of people don't like change, especially when you're whitewashing a stone wall and they don't know what's going to happen to it. And then I'm doing aerosol, what looks like tagging all over it in order to create a grid that we drew on. Like you can kind of see what I did here. I can kind of like break down colors and then you can zoom out and have context of space. Because when you're up there, you have no idea. Once we got started, the biggest obstacles really were weather and like equipment issues. This ground is very sloped, so it created a huge problem with lifts. And we had to be really creative with that. It was an incredibly thirsty wall. It took like 25 gallons of primer. So it's spray and brush, a mixture of latex and acrylic and aerosol. So I feel like it's a pretty good culmination of all my skills that I've learned over the years. In terms of community members, the feedback's been really great. I've had some parents come up and say that they feel really proud of it and they really like their daughter seeing a woman artist like up on that boom lift. You know, it was myself and then my assistant was Gregory Brown, who was great. And so that was just like really cool, I think, for them to see us at work each day and seeing how much work physical labor it is.
He was so proud that his name was affiliated with this center. And then today we're here to unveil this wonderful mural to remember the history of this center and to remember the history of the honorable man from whom this center is named, Gustavo Gus Garcia.
I was pretty overwhelmed with the turnout today, seeing all of Gus Garcia's family here and his friends, and it seemed like people were touched. So it was really validating, I guess, on a personal note for me, because one of my biggest worries was making sure I captured his portrait properly, and that was what I heard a lot today, was that they felt like I really, really did. So that makes me feel really good. But now that I feel like I'm closing this chapter, I'm already like excited for the next, you know? But it feels really good to look back at this one when I pull up every time, and I feel proud of this one. It's a good one.